Hi fellow job seekers, my name is Paula and my video today is going to be about the online job search. Now the reason why I'm making this video is because I, just like yourself, am a fellow job seeker, and I'll go online and I'll see this really good advertisement for a job and it'll look great. I'll think I'm qualified for it. I'll read the job description. It'll seem like something I'm really interested in, and then I'll submit my resume online for that opportunity, and I'll receive an email back like this one. Okay, so I will receive one of those emails and I would get all excited and I would think, oh my goodness, someone's getting ready to call me for an interview, and I would prepare myself on what I would say, and I'm expecting this call from this potential employer, and then nothing. No phone call, no email. And the reason for that is because employers are using these systems called ATS systems, which are called applicant tracking systems. That's what they stand for, ATS, applicant tracking systems. So I went online and I researched these systems to figure out why every time I submit my multiple resumes to these job postings, nothing happens. And what I found is that mostly all employers would use these ATS systems because it makes it easier for them. Employers can use these systems to track and screen applicants in an automated way. So what happens is employers, they have these systems and they can use them to streamline their whole recruitment process. So for example, they can post one job posting to multiple job boards at the same time. They can use these systems to track where the applicant is in the recruitment process. So it really streamlines the process for employers. So it makes it easier for them but harder for us because of these keyword searches that employers use to pull the resumes that they're going to view for a potential interview. And how that works is that employers will, when they're ready to sit down and review the resumes that they're going to take a look at to see if they want to interview the person, they put these keywords into this search box in these ATS systems. These keywords are actually based upon the job description that the employer uses, and I'm going to get more, in detail about that a little later on. But these keywords, they put them into the search box, and only the resumes with those specific keywords will come up, and they'll be pulled for the actual employer to review. Now I'm about to show you a screenshot of one of these boxes and one of these systems that the employers use so that you can see kind of what it looks like, so you can visualize it. Okay, so you see the box that I just showed you that was circled in red? That box is key to this whole online job search process, because what happens is the employer is taking a look at their job description that they created, and they're taking keywords from that job description and they're inputting them into that keyword search box. So for example, if the position requires extensive experience in Microsoft Office, the employer is then going to put the words Microsoft Office into that box. All of the resumes with those words on it are going to be pulled, and then the employer is then going to view those resumes. So if your resume, for example, says extensive computer knowledge, developing documents, developing presentations, and it does not say Microsoft Office specifically and all of those other words, then your resume will not be pulled. Even though you may know Microsoft Office, but because you worded it that way on your resume and you didn't actually specifically put Microsoft Office, those actual words on your resume, then your resume is not going to be pulled. So the key here is to take a look at the job description that you are interested in applying for, and take a look at your resume and compare the two documents to see how many of those specific words from that job description is included on your resume. That is the key. Now I'm going to show you a brief demonstration so that you can actually visualize what it is I'm talking about. And I know that this is a pain. I know, trust me, I'm a job seeker too, so I completely understand. Looking for a job has turned into a job. But I'm trying to give you some tips to make this process a little bit more successful for you. So here we go. Okay, so the job description that I just showed you is an actual online job description for posting on Career Builder. And the two boxes, or the two words that I circled are, they say, manages internal and external contacts, proactively understanding who they are, which are priority contacts, and keeping track of periodic communications needed for priority contacts. That's one of the requirements for the job description. That's one of the duties. The other duty that I circled is, it says, coordinating complex travel itineraries, travel plans, and agendas. So with this position as for an administrative assistant, that means that this person is going to have to make very detailed travel arrangements for executives, not just, take a plane from here to there, but they, are very complex. You might have to do group travel, and also maintaining the client contact list. So those are two of the requirements for this position. Now I'm going to show you a picture that's an actual piece of my actual resume. And the two bullets that are going to be highlighted that you'll see actually pertain to these two duties that are listed on this job description. And I want you to take a look at how I have them worded on my resume versus what the actual job description is calling for. Okay, so you can see from the screenshot that I just showed you, as well as the side-by-side comparison, that I tweaked my resume a little bit to match the job description that the employer put online. So just a few word changes that I made will increase the chances that these HES systems will pull my resume so it can actually be viewed by an employer. So some of the slight changes I made were things like I included the word complex. I added the word complex into the bullet that describes the travel arrangements that I made, because the job description actually had the word complex in it, and I did make very complex travel arrangements. I just didn't use that word. So I added the word complex. I changed the word travel arrangements to travel plans, because the job description actually had the word travel plans included in it. And I also just enhanced it to I made travel arrangements within the domestic United States as well as international travel. That wasn't in there as well. So that means that when that employer puts the word travel arrangements or travel plans, or the word travel and the word complex into that box, my resume will be pulled because I've added those words to that particular bullet. Another change that I made was that I added a bullet for the contacts that was missing. So I added a bullet that actually said that I maintained internal and external client contact lists in Microsoft Outlook and other internal databases. And I also added the fact that I put in, kept track of personal information such as hobbies and birthdays and things like that. So that means that when that employer puts those words into that keyword search box, client contact list, that my resume will be pulled. So those are just some of the slight changes that I made to my resume in terms of taking some of those words off of the job description and including them on my resume. This will increase the chances that my resume will be pulled by the ATS system and actually viewed by an employer. So just to recap, and I know that this is so time consuming, but trust me, you would rather spend your time tweaking your resume to match the job descriptions rather than spending your time just submitting your resume to all these different jobs, because that is a complete waste of time. So what you have to do is you have to be strategic. You and I both, because I'm a job seeker too, we both have to be strategic in our job searches now. So what we have to do is take a look at the online job descriptions. So because we really need to tweak them for every job description, what I've started doing is pulling up groups of job descriptions. So if I'm applying for, let's say, a lot of administrative assistant positions, I will pull a group of those that have similar job descriptions. included in them. And then I'll tweak my resume for those job descriptions, and then I'll submit my resume to that group of jobs. And say if I'm doing something else, I want to be an administrative coordinator, I have those skills as well. So I'll that might have different job descriptions included online. So I'll pull a group of administrative coordinator positions that have similar job descriptions, and I'll tweak my resume to match those job descriptions and then submit them to that group. So the bottom line is, gone are the days when you can just take your resume and keep submitting it and submitting it and submitting it to all these multiple jobs. You have to now take a look at the job description and make sure that your resume includes some of the exact words from that job description on your resume. That is key, so that these ATS systems can possibly pull your resume so it is viewed by an actual employer for a possible interview. So I put up a slide that you're going to see in a second that kind of outlines these really key tips on how to increase your chances of getting an interview by submitting your resume online. So I hope these things have helped you somewhat, and I hope that they've helped you decrease your frustration in the online job search with that whole process, because it is time consuming. You have to create a profile, and it's very, very time consuming. So I hope that these tips help you, and happy job hunting. Thank you for watching.